Let's go. Let's get this bread. I see you, Ed Tay. I see you, Mr. G. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. Guys, all the weather games are pretty good. I did want to go over some player props today. Let's get some player props going today. I see you, Hennessy Black. What's going on? Guys, sorry about that live yesterday. I had to reset my phone. I had to call Verizon and get my phone reset to a new location. The internet is not picking up like it's supposed to. Okay. I see you, Benny. Aaron Holloway in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your YouTube channel? I'll get subscribed to you.
Okay, I'll give it to you in a few minutes. Thank you. I'm trying to get to bring up this underdog that's tripping. There we go. Yeah, now no, I'm actually at the shop. I didn't want to risk it at all. I'm at the shop today, Hennessy Black. Okay, so let's talk about some news here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see who's active. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, so guys, first player I want to talk about is going to be Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden from the Green Bay Packers looks like he's likely to sit out today, so don't play Matthew Golden. But who in the hell is going to play Matthew Golden anyway? I'm not playing no wide receivers on the Green Bay Packers unless it's Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, if he plays today. And you got to be careful with that. Emmanuel Wilson, if Josh Jacobs is out. Michael Penix, we already know he's out for the season, but his surgery is coming. I don't know what his timeline is. Let's see here. And we're just going to talk about this real quick because, we know he's out. But he's got to get reconstructive ACL surgery on his left knee. That's his third knee surgery. But as a quarterback, I don't think it's going to be detrimental because you don't need your knees. Ask Dan Marino, ask a lot of quarterbacks. Your knees is not that very important as a pocket quarterback. And that's what Michael Penix, he's a pocket quarterback. Xavier Worthy is suiting up today. And I think he's a good play. The reason why I think Xavier Worthy is a good play, the next phase for the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be pushing the ball downfield to Xavier Worthy. Pushing the ball downfield to Xavier Worthy. That's the next phase for this offense. So I like Xavier Worthy to play today if you need, if you got him on your team. They saying that Bucky, guys, is going to play next week. He's not playing this week, so I love Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker is a must start. I know he's playing against the Rams, who has a really good run defense, but that's not going to stop me from playing Sean Tucker. I think he can overcome the Rams defense. And last week, Kenneth Walker outplayed not outplayed Sean Tucker, but he played good against that Rams defense, who we thought nobody could run the ball against. So I'm going to go down with Sean Tucker. I think Rashad White has been beaten out. He is the third string running back now. Aaron Rodgers' status is still uncertain, so we're going to have to watch that all the way up into the Pittsburgh game. We don't know. Aaron Rodgers is crazy. He's not going to let them rule him out. So he's probably going to play, and if he can't go, maybe Mason Rudolph comes in later. What's good, RG? I see you, Tron. Alvin Kamara, I'm playing him. He's suiting up. So play Alvin Kamara. Hopefully he catch passes. I think the Saints could beat Atlanta today. And Chris Godwin, guys, is going to make it real disgusting over there in Tampa. So you're going to have Buka, Godwin, Auden, Tez. It's going to be real disgusting over there. So you know what it is. So the only guy that I'm willing to play for Tampa Bay is going to be Buka. And if I have to play Cade Auden this week because I plan on playing him, then that's fine. You can pivot to a Darnell Washington, a Hunter Henry, but it's going to be disgusting over there with Chris Godwin playing. If you got Chris Godwin and you need a wide receiver, don't even think about it. You put him out there if you need him. If you want to wait because you got other plays, you made other moves from the waivers, that's okay. But you can put Godwin in. They don't play Godwin just to put him out there. He's a vet. He's been there. He's a Super Bowl winner. So they're not going to waste his time. If they put him out there, they're going to target him. Is he going to get more targets than Ibuka? Probably not. But would he get targets where he's going to be fantasy valuable to give you at least 10 points as a floor? Probably so. Let's see, what else is good? Okay, so Josh Jacobs, they saying it right here, just got a refresh, said that Josh Jacobs is a game time call. So you're gonna have to make that decision on what you wanna do. It's gonna be a game time call. Big Will in the house with the super chat. First one in the building, the super chat. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up, bro? He says Sean Tucker versus the Rams or Kamara versus Atlanta. Also Chase Brown versus New England or Jalen Warren versus Chicago. Okay, so with Jalen Warren going through that the knee injury, I think Kenneth Gainwell gets a couple more carries. So I probably wouldn't go with Jalen. I would probably go with Chase Brown with Joe Flacco in the game. And they also need somebody because we know Jamar Chase is going to be suspended this week. So I would go with Chase Brown over Jalen Warren. And I probably would go with Sean Tucker over Kamara, even though I'm not strong about that. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. If you wanted to go with Kamara, there's nothing wrong with it. Kamara, man, it's hard to ever sit Kamara. I know he hasn't been playing great this year, but this is a pass-catching running back that's scriptless. He don't need a game script. All he need to do is catch passes, and you can catch passes in the first quarter all the way out through the fourth quarter, no matter what the score is. But you're not going to get carries at the end of the game if you're losing. I'm not saying Sean Tucker's going to be losing, but I'm going with Sean Tucker because of what he did last week. I like to ride that wave, pause. And the Rams is a good defense, but you still can be had. We know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a good team. I'm about to say a good defense. They are a good team, so they can still run the ball. So I'm going with Sean Tucker over Kamara, and I'm going with Chase Brown over Jalen Warren. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Okay. Kyler Gordon was a Pro Bowl slot corner for Chicago last year. So this guy's important, but he's going to be out this week. So if that's going to help you make a decision, if you're going against the Chicago Bears, you can make that decision and play a slot wide receiver. Hopefully that can help you. That's the only reason why I read that out, because I know Kyler Gordon is a good slot corner, and the Chicago Bears has been giving up behind the dumpster since Gordon and another corner has been out for a while. Okay, let's see here. Look at this. Yeah, I think that's all. That's going to be all, guys, for right now. Okay, so let's get to some of these questions in here. No, actually, let's do some prop bets. That's what I want to do. I want to do some prop bets. Let's get some prop bets going on over here. How y'all feel about that? If I can get to the damn prop bets, what the hell is wrong with Underdog? This should be weird. Okay, we ain't wasting time on that. But a couple guys prop bets that I really like this week. I like to take J-Mo for anytime touchdown. I like J-Mo for anytime touchdown. I like Christian Watson as a big, just like a big play, anytime touchdown. I like Christian Watson. And my other anytime touchdown is going to be Harold Fanning. Harold Fanning, anytime. These are not, I'm not saying book it, but these are game script anytime touchdowns if y'all need that. All right, let's get through some of these questions in here. Hennessy Black says, what up? Aaron Holloway says, good morning, TD. He says, couldn't get any trades done, but that's okay. Got to win this ship. Right. And sometimes trading, man, you can make a bad trade, so you're good. Hennessy Black says, start Andre Yoshevich versus the Patriots or Pierce at the Chiefs or Jennings versus the Panthers. I like Alec Pierce versus the Chiefs. Jennings is a good play. Jennings is going against the Panthers. The Panthers defense is getting better, but Jennings with Brock Purdy, I always get a nice little flow of targets. Pierce, man, this is his breakout season for him, so I'm not even going to try to break that down. I think he's the top 12 wide receiver. Yosevich is going to be solid for you. He's going to get some targets, maybe 5 or 6 with Jamar Chase going out, with being suspended. So I'm going to go with Alec Pierce versus the Chiefs. Hennessy says, I just dropped Wordy for Jennings. It's nothing wrong with that. I get it. You got to do what you got to do, man, to get your players in. Tron first says, who would you start at quarterback? Lawrence versus Arizona, Winston versus the Lions, or Schultz versus the Falcons? Woo, that is disgusting. I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence over Winston and Schultz. Hennessy Black says the Bucs are in a must-win game. I don't think it's must-win. They could still make the playoffs through a wild card, but I get it. In order to win the division and make sure the Carolina Panthers don't hunt them down, yeah, I get it. Hennessy Black says the Bucs upset the Rams. Listen, this football. You can happen. I would take the points. I wouldn't say the Rams are going to blow them out or beat them by 10 points or anything. I would take the points for the Bucs. This is probably a 3-5 point game right now. What's going on, Siobhan? She said, hey, TD, who do I play? 3 spots, Lamb, Rice, Ibuka, T-Mac. I'm going to go with Lamb, T-Mac, and Rice. Now, Ibuka is not chopped liver, but we splitting hairs, right? We splitting hair from hair, right? We splitting hairs here. So I'm going to give you the best of the optimal of the optimal. And T-Mac has a great matchup. Bryce Young has been throwing him the ball. They've been flowing. Ibuka got another target competition with Chris Godwin. So that's the common denominator that makes me want to take him out of this start, the question. So I'm going to go with Lamb, Rice, and T-Mac. Siobhan says, for running back, pick 2, Dowdle, Chase, and Tootin. We're going with Dowdle and Chase. Hennessy Black says, ETN or Tucker. I'm going with Tucker, man, because I like Tootin today. I like him. Not saying he's a top 12 guy, but he's a top 28 running back this week, and that's going to hurt ETN. And he was out snapping ETN in the beginning of last week's game until he got hurt. He was going to have 100 yards. Everybody saw that coming. Okay, so Jay Moore just announced it. Rodgers is officially out. So if you want to play Mason Rudolph, I think it's a good start. And I love DK Metcalf with Mason Rudolph and also Darnell Washington as the tight end for Mason Rudolph. So thank you for that information, Jay Moore. Siobhan said, that's who I have for wide receivers and running backs. Thanks. Siobhan said, Stafford or Baker. We're going to go with Stafford, throwing to Puka and Devontae. Hennessy Black says, shit, I have 2 and 2. All right, let me go back up. I'm going to get to the other guys, too. Ed Tay, Mr. G says, let's get it. Yes, sir. Ed Tay says, good morning, TD. What tight end you like today? How you think Fanning will do with Shadir Sanders? Fanning's going to ball out, bro. Fanning is balling out today. This is the highest I've been on Fanning. And listen, I saw Fanning in college, and he reminded me of Jonnu Smith. He can run the ball, and he's a better pass catcher than Jonnu Smith. So Fanning has always been that. But when they starting Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco, I just wasn't on Fanning like that. I thought he was a good fantasy buy or a fantasy asset. But now that Shadir's in the game, I love Jerry Jeudy. I love Fanning. I love Quinshawn. And I love Shadir today. I'm going down with that ship today. I'm not telling you all those guys are stars, but the main stars are going to be Shadir, Fanning, Quinshawn, and Jeudy. Those guys, you can get them guys in your lineup today. You might put them over certain guys. Ash said, let's go. Ed Tate says, need one, Jalen Warren or Sean Tucker. We going with Sean Tucker, bruh. Mr. G says, torn between flexing Rome or Judy. My gut telling me Judy, but the safe bet is Jerome. What do you think? Okay, listen. I know you want to get to the sauce. You saw the girl with the big butt walking down the street, and you like, shit. She cool. She a good girl. No, bruh, don't break your home up. Go ahead and dance with the girl that you came to the party with. You got Rome. He's too high to go to Judy. And thank you for giving me that benchmark, but we're going to keep going there. What guys should you play? What guys would you play Judy over? Rome is not a guy that I'm willing to do that. Not with Caleb Williams playing as good as he's playing. I wouldn't do it. I would play Rome. Also, guys, he asked in the chat, what do y'all think? Put it in the chat. Who you think he should play? Ed Tate says, best of luck to everyone. Let's get the win today. Yes, sir. Kale says, Daniel Jones or Joe Flacco? I've been thinking about the same thing. I'm going with Joe Flacco. Daniel Jones is playing against Kansas City. It's a must-win for Kansas City. It's a tomato, but I'm going to go with Joe Flacco and T. Higgins and Chase Brown. I'm going with those guys. Daniel Jones got more weapons with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman. So if you want to go with the weapons, if you want to go with Alec Pierce or Michael Pittman and Josh Downs as saying that Daniel Jones could probably throw for 2 touchdowns, then go with that. I think Joe Flacco is automatically with the Cincinnati Bengals got to throw for 2 touchdowns, even if they get blowed out. That's why I'm going with Joe Flacco. Aaron Holloway says, good morning, TD. Beanie Ocean, he says, sit one. DA, T. Higgins, JJ, Ibuka. Hey, guys, let me know who is DA. Who is DA? Let me go down to the bottom and see who DA is. Can y'all let me know who is DA? He has initials DA in there. So I guess nobody knows who DA is. I don't either. Devontae Adams. Okay, thank you, Benny. Thank you, Benny. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, J.J. Ibuka. Sit one. Damn, man. That's a tough decision. You choosing between Pamela Anderson, and we're not talking about the old Pamela Anderson. We're talking about the young Baywatch Pamela Anderson. You choosing between Pamela Anderson, Carmela Electra, J-Lo, and Rosie Perez. I'm gonna say City Buka and play Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, and Devontae Adams. I'm gonna say City Buka, but that don't mean I don't like Ibuka this week. But great question though. That's a tough play. Mr. G says Sean Tucker giving Rico vibes. The only times he plays for the Bucks, he went off. Think the office seeing his value. Yes, I agree with that. That's why I'm big on Sean Tucker. He's a must start for me. 7, what's up, 7? He says J-Mo, Pierce, Mooney, Ricky, 4 PPR pick 2. I'm going with J-Mo and Pierce. J-Mo and Pierce. Okay, we did that one already. Kale says Colston Loveland or Jake Ferg. We're going with Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland, but it's close. Jake Ferg is a good play today. We're going against the Eagles. The Boom Boom Pow Pow says, hi, I'm from New Zealand. What's going on? Glad to see you here. Hey, moderators, can y'all post some of the links, please? Can you post some of my links, like my join as a membership, guys? Make sure you join as a membership, guys. You get a consultation for free if you sign up as a Phenom member. Also, you get my videos earlier, and I also skip around and get to your questions first if you are a member before everybody else. But Pink U says, I just double tapped the screen with my tip. Come on, bruh. Come on now. 7 says Hunt, Judkins, Aaron Jones, pick one, 4 PPR. Judkins over Hunt and Aaron Jones. Mr. G says Chris Brooks runs better than Emmanuel Wilson. He does. But Emmanuel Wilson is the backup. It is what it is. Not Me says, what's up, bro? Just checking in on you. Hope you doing well and recovering from them back shots. Yeah, bro, I'm recovering from them. Appreciate you here, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content, man. This is cutting edge content. Henry says, damn, I just dropped Worthy for Jennings. LeBron says, sub. Appreciate you, LeBron. Not me says, what's up, bro? Just, okay. Guys, can y'all delete some of those comments? Especially the repeating ones. Okay, we did that one. Derek Deutsch says, Michael Wilson, T-Mac, or T. Higgins need 2 PPR. Also, Purdy or Brissett. We going with... I'm going to go with Brissett for the passing game with no running backs there that I don't really believe in like that. So I'm going to get cute a little bit and go with Brissett over Purdy. But if you wanted to go with Purdy, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to go with Brissett. And you said you need 2. Let's go with T-Mac and T. Higgins. T-Mac and T. Higgins. Derek says Sean Tucker or Kenneth Walker. Bro, listen. I could be hating on Kenneth. And I'm self-defecating here. I'm not trying to hate on Kenneth, but I'm going to go with Sean Tucker because of what he did last week and Bucky still being out. And with the Buccaneers needing to win this game to keep their playoff seed decent. So I'm going to go with Sean Tucker, man. I'm going with Sean Tucker over Kenneth Walker. But I don't think you could go wrong either way. 7 says Worthy, Yosevich, Burden, Tajay, DK, pick 2. I'm going with Worthy and Yosevich. I'm going with Worthy and Yosevich. Tim says start Ibuka, J-Mo. We're going with J-Mo Williams. Is that Javonte Williams or J-Mo? If that's Javonte, I will go with Ibuka. I said, I don't know what I said. But, yeah, if it's J-Mo, I'm going with J-Mo. But if it's Javonte, I'm going with Ibuka. Derek Dort says Jalen Warner, Kenneth Walker. We're going with Kenneth Walker. Yes, I picked Kenneth Walker on 1 starting sit question. South says, I have Eric Wilson. If Jacob plays, would you play Rashad White or could I pick up Tootin? Pick up Tootin off waivers and play him over Rashad White. Perfect Black says start Strange if you need to. If you don't have Jawan Johnson, if Darnell Washington ain't out there, go get Darnell Washington. Go get Hunter Henry. I would try to stream another tight end if I could. Over Strange. Derek says Bryce Young or Flacco. I'm going with Bryce Young over Flacco. Hennessy Black says Bucks upset the Rams. He says Bucks upset the Rams. Got another super chat from SH33 Dunn. He says, due to injuries, I got to play Bryce Young and B-Rob. How do you think they'll do? Bruh. And let me tell you this. So first, let me answer the question. I think Bryce Young can finish as a top 12 quarterback this week. Brian Robinson, he may finish outside the top 32 as a running back. But guess what? It doesn't matter. So listen, brother, I look at it like this. Brother, if you're going through a situation and you got to go buy a hoopty car because you don't have a lot of money, you may be only making $10, $11 an hour. Why you ain't gonna be worried about having to buy a hoopty? Who gives a damn what everybody gonna say? You got to do what you got to do. You got to go get to the money, and then you can go buy you a Lamborghini once you go get to the money, right? So it's the same thing. You got to do what you got to do this week. So it don't matter what I say they're gonna do. It don't matter what anybody says they're gonna do. Those are probably, you know how to play fantasy. Those probably are the best people that you can pick up and play. It is what it is. Keep it moving. So, yeah, man, I think they're going to do well. I think Brian Robinson, start him. He's one of the best backups to play outside of Tyler Algier and Charbonnet, right? So play him. Bryce Young, I think, is going to do really well for you, though. Who cares what Brian Robinson does? You got to play him. Jay Moore says, start 1. Jennings, Dobbs, AD Mitchell, 4 PPR. This is some cutting-edge content, but we're going to go with Juwan Jennings. But I like AD Mitchell as a sleeper. AD Mitchell was on my sleeper video yesterday. I know the sound and shit is off. I apologize, but AD Mitchell is a sleeper for me today. I like Juwan Jennings over Dobbs and AD Mitchell, though. Martin Torres says, which one should I start? Corum or Jordan Mason? I probably would go with Mason over Corum. I would go with Mason over Corum, but both of them are rough. But I would go with Mason over Corum. Oreo says, need two half-point PPR, Swift, Odunze, or A.J. Brown. I'm pretty sure that's A.J. Brown. So we're going to go with A.J. Brown and Odunze. We're going with A.J. Brown and Odunze. Samuel, what's up, bro? He says, hello, bro. Joey Vikes, them Vikings. Intelligente, he says, I agree the Rams did allow Kenneth Walker. You the one told me about that, Intelligente. You the one told me about that. I remember you say, listen, man, he did well. And I knew he had a lot of fantasy points, but I didn't watch the game and see how he got it. But he ran well against the Rams. He said, I agree, the Rams did allow Kenneth Walker to rush for 67 yards and a touchdown. I expect Tampa Bay to feed Tucker. Come on, Intelligente. Preach. A-Gang Grizzle says, what's good, TD? Who do you like more this week, Chase Brown or Judkins? I'm going to go with Judkins slightly over Chase Brown, but it's a tomato-tomato move. It's a tomato-tomato. Both of them are great plays, but I'm going to go with Judkins because of the situation with Shadur. I think Shadur helps open it up a little bit for Judkins. Joey Vike says, hopefully White can get some more work today, brother. I think it's over for him. He might catch a couple passes and get 5 or 6 carries. I think they're going to feed Sean Tucker, and Sean Tucker probably is going to go and work into Bucky Irvin workload. I said what I said. Sean Tucker, if he has another big game today, he's going to start working into Bucky workload. So Bucky, instead of him getting 18 touches a game, he is probably going to go back to 12, and him and Sean Tucker is going to split, and Rashad White might come in here and there. It's going to be disgusting for Bucky Irvin owners. For Sean Tucker owners, you would take that little floor. He says, hopefully White can get some more targets today and work today. I expect some fireworks. I will be at the Rams-Bucks game. Good luck to everyone. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Joy. Seamus says, full PPR, pick one. Winston, T-Law. I'm going with T-Law. And this is tight end, pick one. A.J. Barner or Taysom Hill. I'm going with A.J. Barner. Intelligente says DK or J-Mo. I'm going with J-Mo over DK. Perfect Black says Strange or Washington. I'm going with Washington. MVM says, should I trade Sutton, Bill, and a third for Quinshawn Judkins and Dynasty? Should you trade Sutton and Bill and a third for Quinshawn Judkins and Dynasty? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hennessy Black says Watson, Metcalf, Rudolph, or Greg Dodge. Okay, yeah, with Rudolph. We're going to go with Watson over DK, slightly over DK. I love DK. DK got a good matchup. He could boom this week, especially with Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph going to throw a couple moon balls for him. And that's what DK can, he can thrive like that. So I'm going to say Watson slightly off the hair off of my chinny chin chin over Metcalf. Randy, what's up, Randy B7? He said the Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, and some understand slowness. Instead, he is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. Peter 2. Thank you, brother, for that quote. Appreciate you, Randy. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Ed Tay says Rome. So he think you should play Rome. That's the question from earlier. Elisa says, good morning, TD. Stand it, Dak or Baker? We're going with Dak. Yes, against the Philadelphia Eagles. I like Dak. He got to throw the ball to Pickens. They got to pass. They stopped the run. They got Jordan Davis and quarterback. So I think they passed it a lot to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. And remember, CeeDee Lamb was eating, but he dropped 3 passes on that last drive for them to try to beat the Eagles in week 1. Benny says, okay, yeah, they're talking about Adams. Okay, appreciate it. Benny says, it's because I started Woody Marks at my flex, and I just traded JJ last night. Okay, no problem. Traded for JJ. Oh, traded for JJ. Whoo, man, I wouldn't have done that, Benny, but I respect it, man. I don't want nobody on Minnesota. I think that's a wash this year. I wouldn't have touched JJ. Now, for Dynasty, if you got him in Dynasty, that's a good move. Or else they would all be starters, right? Cody Stale. He says, "What's up? Been a minute, killing it this year." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How your team doing, man? Like I know you say you're killing it, but how good is they doing? And what players do you have? Do you have any players that I recommended? Sport Dog says TD 100. I can pick up Pearsall or Bashal Tootin. Who would you pick? I would go get Tootin. I would go get that RB. Jay Moore says, does the 49ers wide receivers have a tough matchup against Carolina? In a way, they do. Nobody knows it. But you got Horn out there, who's a good corner, who's probably going to be on Jawan Jennings. The guy that's probably going to be eating is Ricky Pearsall because he's going to be in the slot. They don't really have a great slot defender, I would say. But Carolina defense is solid. Carolina defense is solid. Hey, come in, little man. Hey, guys, this is one of my friends' sons. Say hey to everybody, man.
Hey.
He asked me what was my YouTube name. It's Fantasy GoodeSports. So you can put that in your phone. You know, TD love the kids. TD love the kids. Hey, the kid, especially he see me doing my thing, he came over here and sit beside me. He was like, "Hey, man, you got a YouTube channel?" So I love that type of energy. I always reward that when you see young boys or young girls that want to come and see what you're doing and want to be interested in it. You remember when you was a kid and you was trying to find your way, you have to feed that. Because you want kids being able to think outside the box. I can do anything that I want to do. That's why I think teachers are some of the most important people in the world. I had some really great teachers that told me I could be anything I wanted to in the world. So it's Fantasy Good Sports. I'll type it in for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. There you go, boss. You can hit subscribe right there. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so the Carolina is a good defense, but I'm okay with starting Jennings depending on the situation, what other wide receivers you have. They will score. You know, the 49ers will score at least 17 points at least. Ricky Pearsall got the best matchup, though, on the San Francisco 49ers as far as a wide receiver. George Kittle is George Kittle. Ain't nobody stopping George Kittle. So Ricky Pearsall is a solid start. He's a top 36 wide receiver. Jawan Jennings is a top 36 wide receiver. I would rank Ricky Pearsall ahead of Jawan Jennings as far as the matchups. Not necessarily say I'm going to play him over Jawan Jennings. Sometimes you got to be able to compartmentalize with that. And George Kittle gonna eat, and you know what Christian McCaffrey is. Darius Smith says, good morning, 4 PPR, Myers, Pitts, ETN, Tootin, or Pollard. Pick a running back in a flex. Okay, the running back I would pick would be What about now? Whew. This shit is crazy. You see how people calling my phone? This shit is crazy, man. I'm trying not to get frustrated. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I saw the people dropping out of the live. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I didn't know if y'all, people just dropping out for whatever reason. Sometimes it goes to commercial for y'all. 11:26 a.m. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tail Dog. Thank you. Let me go through this couple of the super chat. Okay, was just the sounds. I appreciate it, Big Will. I should have been paying attention. I tried to pay attention to the super chats, but I didn't see it. All right, let me go back up to get to some of the questions. I don't know if y'all still in here, but I'm gonna get to a couple of them and then we're gonna get out of here. I can hear you, G. Whoa, West Coast, Sacramento in the house. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mike. What's up, bruh? What's up, Vin? Voltron says, do your mods have your personal cell number? Maybe they can send you a text when this happens so you know immediately. You right, Voltron. You right. I agree with that. Yes, a couple of my mods, a couple guys I've did some consultations with should have my phone number. Usually I can check but the sun is gleaming on my damn phone, so I can't even see when the super chats, the money goes up. Usually when the money goes up, I check down below just to see what the super chats are saying, so I didn't see it. I apologize, guys. That's the grind. Caleb says, what up, TD? Tootin or Yosevich? We're going with Tootin. Big Rowan says Hurts or May. We're going with May over Hurts. Also Judkins or Michael Wilson. We're going with Judkins over Michael Wilson. Sound went out at 11 a.m. Okay, at 11:11. Thank you. So if you're still in the chat, guys, I'm not going to go up because I don't know if those people are still here. So if you want to put your questions, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Go ahead. I'm going to stay here for a few more questions. Mike, appreciate the super chat. He says, G, you like Pitt or Chicago defense? Neither. But if I had to go with one defense, it would be Pittsburgh out of those two. Anytime, Caleb. Anytime, Caleb. I got you, bro. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all be safe. I'm going to try to go live again. I get busy watching the games, and I don't want to miss the games. In order for me to process the games, to give y'all the cutting-edge content, I have to watch the game, to watch the game script. That's how I digest it, right? It's like the Matrix. I'm reading it. Oh, Voltron says McMillan or DK. We're going with McMillan. Goddard or Pitts. Let's go with Goddard because I don't trust Kirk Cousins. Now, I think Pitts has a really good matchup, but it's hard for me to go down with the ship when Kirk Cousins has never really targeted Pitts out of he's probably played 15, 16 games? G, you like the Titans, tight end Chig? Yes, if you have to play him. It just depends on who's out there. I like Washington over Chig. Yankee says, why is Hendo a star with Ramondre? Okay, I said that earlier. He's a star, bro, because of what he did. One thing about NFL, in order to keep a locker room, you see it, like you can't keep starting the same quarterback when he's playing bad. You have to keep the locker room together. So in order to keep this locker room together and to let people know if you play well and you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to play. And that's what Hendo did. So now, does he get the same amount of value? Does he get 3 touchdowns? No. But does he get 10 rushes and about 5 or 6 catches? Yes. You cannot put that back, bro. If they put that back, people going to be looking at them like weird, and then something happened and they lose. Like, that's a lot of stuff that he's going to have to answer to the media. They've been winning. They've been looking elite with Hendo. Now, I'm not saying Ramondre is not going to get no targets, but I think Ramondre is going to be the cloud of dust guy to keep the defense integrity of you got to respect the run up the middle. And then they're going to hit Hendo with the special plays, the outside runs, maybe give him a couple runs up the middle, get him out in space. So Hendo, I feel good about Hendo. And this is a week that I would say you play him. And if they do something weird, then we know we done with it for the rest of the year with Ramondre. But I would trust it this week with what he did the last 3 weeks while Ramondre was out. Yankee says Hendo or Judkins. I will go with Hendo over Judkins. Yeah, Yankee, it is. It's good to have the audio back. I apologize, guys. Go ahead and fry me in the chat. That's my fault. When people calling your damn phone, I'm going to have to start being rude to people. I'm probably going to get me a new phone number. Voltron says, if Sanders balls out today, you think Stefanski goes back to Gabriel as a starter? Man, I don't know, man. That's the weirdest shit. That's the only thing. That locker room, man, I don't understand no rhyme or reason of what they doing. But I would say probably not. I would say he keeps going with Sanders if he balls out. If he plays average, he could go back to Gabriel. He could go back to Gabriel. Kamara or Tucker, I'm going with Tucker over Kamara slightly, but it's close. It's close. Yankee says Saints, Eagles, Jags defense. I'm going with Saints slightly over the Jags defense. I'm going with the Saints slightly over the Jags defense. B. Silver said, we back at the barbershop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're going to get tired of my ass coming to the barbershop doing these lives. They're going to kick my ass out. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Again, I apologize about the Purdy or Flacco. I'm going with Flacco slightly over Purdy for garbage time touchdowns. Area Venture says, let's get it today. Yes, sir. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Top of the clock, champ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, y'all be safe. Peace. Tell us, Stevenson, Tucker, or Walker. We going with Walker and Tucker. Walker and Tucker. Jalen says, you think Njoku goes off? No. I think he has an okay game. I think Fanning goes off. But I like any guy you got on the Cleveland, I think you should boost him up a little bit with Shadur playing. Any of the wide receivers and tight ends, you should boost them up. Even Crenshaw. Boost them up a little bit. Move them up 2 or 3 spots in your mind rankings. You got to try to get these guys out there on the field. For me to say that Njoku going to go off, that's a little too into detail, but I think he's a good play if you need to play him. Jalen says, I should get the tight end from the Jets, then the rookie. I like the rookie. I like Fanning first, then I like Mason Taylor. So, yeah, the rookie. I know what you're saying. Okay, yeah, Mason Taylor is fine, but I like Fanning over Mason Taylor. I probably like Mason Taylor over Njoku this week as in for targets in a full PPR league. Hunter Henry does good today. I think he does. I think Hunter Henry should have a good game today. I like Otten, but you got Godwin back. That's going to hurt Otten a little bit. That's going to hurt him a little bit, especially in full PPR with the targets. He probably get 3 or 4 less targets today than he usually is getting with Godwin being back. Yes, sir, Jalen. B. Silver said, is Strange a good streamable option? Yes, he is. He's a streamable option, but it's a lot of good tight ends. Like I said, I like Washington over Strange. I like Darnell Washington over Strange. Darnell Washington is one of my favorite tight ends. Hunter Henry is another tight end that I like, and I also like Likely. Isaiah Likely. Over Otten. Over Strange. All right, guys. Be safe.